All right, let's just say it. If you're still here, if you are still watching the New York Football Giants in Week 12.
You're one of the strong ones.
Yeah.
A true soldier. Seriously.
You really are. Welcome. We've dug through a ton of material for this one. The usual reports, Big Blue Tea, Dartless in Detroit, all the painful stuff.
And our mission today really is to just try and make sense of the pain, right? We're breaking down this grim reality against the Lions.
Exactly. We need to figure out why the emotional stakes are so high, even when, let's be honest, the win probability is so low.
It's a breakdown for the passionate fan who is also, incredibly frustrated right now. And that frustration is all about the organization, the ownership, the front office.
And it all comes back to one thing, doesn't it? The emotional anchor dragging us all down this week.
The Jaxson Dart news.
Jaxson Dart is officially OUT for this game in Detroit. We were all holding out hope we'd see our prince, our future, and now.
Nope. And so the way the news came out is just so deeply disappointing. It's classic organizational whiplash.
Oh, absolutely. Because early in the week, what were we hearing?
All sunshine. He's dancing at practice.
He's skipping around like a Disney prince in queets. You hear that and you let yourself believe, You think, okay, he's feeling good. He's almost there.
And then, bam, the cold water. Kafka comes out. And the final word is just not progressing.
How do you go from dancing and skipping to not progressing? I am genuinely infuriated by that. It feels like they're just playing with our hopes.
Well, the source material gives us a pretty clear and pretty damning reason. It wasn't about coaching caution.
No, he just didn't pass the tests, flat out failed them.
And the detail in the notes is just brutal. They asked those baseline questions, right? What year is it? He apparently said 2022.
Ugh.
And that's it. That's an automatic mandatory sideline. You can't argue with that.
It just tells you everything, though. Our last flicker of hope for the season is literally stuck in the wrong year. It's more than just one game. This is costing him critical development time.
And it just reflects that total lack of confidence we all have in how this whole operation is being run from the top down.
And while we're dealing with our own internal mess, we're about to walk straight into the lion's den.
A very, very angry lion's den.
Okay, yeah, let's pivot to the enemy, because this is where it gets terrifying. The Detroit Lions are angry. They just got held to 9 points by the Eagles.
That's the trigger. That single-digit performance is like a psychological wound for them. They got embarrassed on national TV.
And they are looking at this game against the Giants as a cleansing ritual. They are going to use us to get right.
It's like they found their lost AirPods, and now they're just going to blast trap music at full volume to spite the world. And we're standing right there.
And you have to connect this to their coach, Dan Campbell, because the source material points out this insane stat.
He has never lost back-to-back games. Never.
That's terrifying. What does that even mean strategically?
It means when they come off a loss, they come out to physically dominate. It's not just about winning. It's about breaking their opponent's will in the first quarter.
The guy drinks Red Bull intravenously and talks about biting kneecaps. We know what's coming.
They're not looking for a nice, clean win. There is a very real fear they're going to try and hang a 50 burger on us in their dome.
And why wouldn't they? They know our defensive struggles. That fear is completely justified.
Which, I guess, leads us directly to the defensive disaster report. This is why we're 13-point underdogs.
This is where the real pain is. The defense, and yeah, I'm using air quotes, has let up 24 or more points in 5 straight games.
5. That's not bad luck. That is a systemic failure.
They couldn't stop a VHS tape from rewinding. It's awful to watch.
And if you dig into the numbers, the one critical weakness, the thing Detroit is built to exploit, is the run defense.
Oh, it's a catastrophe. The sources highlight it over and over. We are giving up 5.5 yards per carry on the ground.
5.5 yards. Just think about that. That means every single set of downs for the other team starts at 2nd and 4.5. Automatically.
It's not football, it's an open bar. Welcome, opposing running backs. The lanes are wide open for everyone. It just gasses our entire defense.
And here's the really insightful part from the research. Our pass defense on 3rd and long isn't actually that bad.
Right, but we never get there.
Exactly. Because we're so bad on 1st and 2nd down, giving up 5.5 a pop, we're always defending 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. It completely nullifies our one potential strength.
It's a vicious cycle, and this Lions team is perfectly built to just run that cycle on us all day long.
You've got Jared Goff, who's mad, and more importantly, he has weapons. a whole arsenal.
Let's break them down because it's scary. The main guy attacking that 5.5 yards per carry is Jahmyr Gibbs.
The notes describe him as running on Red Bull and cheetah DNA. It's so accurate. He's like Alvin Kamara. He can run between the tackles, but he'll kill you as a receiver out of the backfield.
And then in the air, you've got Jameis and Williams taking the top off the defense,
which forces the safety to cheat over. And that just opens up the middle of the field for
the Reet Good D, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he is just a technician. The source material singles out how he sells the deep route and then just snaps it off on a deep in cut. That's a nightmare for our zone coverage.
A nightmare is putting it lightly. Our secondary struggles to cover a basic slant route. The comparison in the notes was watching a toddler try to catch a pigeon.
And it's so frustratingly accurate. So if you can't cover a slant, how are you going to stop St. Brown when you also have to put 8 guys in the box to try and stop a run game? You know you can't stop.
A paradox. You're doomed either way.
And yet, despite all this defensive gloom, somehow this offense is still putting up points.
They are. The chaos returned last week. Jameis Winston is back under center.
And, well,
that's Jameis. That's what you sign up for. You know you're going to get some amazing throws, and yep, you're going to get some interceptions. That's the deal.
But look at the result from last week, the source notes. 0 touchdowns from Winston, 1 interception, and the team still scored 20 points.
20 points? How is that even possible? It's like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. It shouldn't work, but they got there.
And you have to credit the other guys. Tyrone Tracy ran hard. Isaiah Hodgins finally woke up from hibernation.
And Theo Johnson, bless him. I catch ball, I make first downs. Just simple, effective grit. It matters.
And, you know, that ability to squeeze out 20 points with all those limitations, that actually says something good about the coaching.
I completely agree. If we're talking about the future, Mike Kafka is showing he can scheme guys open. He's a legitimate head coach candidate in my book because he's getting something from nothing.
He is. But here's the immediate problem for this Sunday. We know what this Giants offense wants to do.
Ugh, it's rigid. It's a run first on every down game plan no matter what.
And that plan is about to run headfirst into a brick wall. Detroit's rush defense is what, top 8 in the league?
They just shut down Saquon Barkley, made him look like he was running in quicksand.
So our game plan is basically trying to pick a bank vault lock with a breadstick. It's strategically hopeless.
And it just adds to that overall organizational frustration. We know our defense can't stop the run, and our offense insists on running against a team that stuffs the run.
And Vegas sees it all clear as day. The source material is brutal. We are 13-point underdogs.
13 points. That's not just a prediction, that's a statement. That's a consensus belief that this organization is fundamentally broken right now.
So what would a win even look like? The notes laid out a pretty ridiculous scenario.
A miracle, for one, but specifically.
It requires, and I quote, 3 defensive turnovers, a stadium blackout in Detroit, and Aiden Hutchinson forgetting how to use his arms.
So not likely. And this, the 13-point spread, the defensive failures, it all comes back to that fan anger. It comes back to the question, how does Joe Schoen still have his job?
And to be fair, the sources do provide context. Schoen inherited an absolute cap disaster. He's made some decent mid-round picks. The problem it's not that every single move is bad.
But the results on the field are the results on the field. The 13-point underdog status, that's the bottom line. That's why fans are demanding accountability at the very top.
Right. So we have to look past this week. We have to. The source material mentions the next flicker of hope.
Our Princeton protocol. The hope is that Jaxson Dart will be ready to cook under the primetime lights versus New England.
And that brings us to the final, really provocative question for you, for the fan who is still listening to this, still hanging on.
What does it mean for this franchise when all of our hope, all of it, is pinned on one single injured player to salvage the entire year?
Think about it. If Dart comes back against New England and he's great, what organizational changes have to happen around him to make that hope mean anything?
Because if the front office stays the same, if the defense is still a sieve, if the game plan is still a breadstick against a vault, even a prince can't save this kingdom alone. The organization has to get better.
The pressure has to stay on. We have to demand more than just hope.
You are the most committed fan out there. We appreciate you diving into this grim reality with us. We'll catch you next time. Just wanted to say a massive thank you for tuning in to Big Blue Tea.
Absolutely. And, you know, a huge shout out always to Black Freezy TV.
Oh, definitely.
For the fantastic programming, the production, everything that makes this possible.
Yep. Their work behind the scenes is just really appreciated.
It really is.
This has been Big Blue Tea.